Awesome. So, LGBTQ Latina to the diversity rescue. Hi, everyone. I am Natalia Oberti Noguera, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Pipeline Fellowship, which is an angel investing boot camp based in New York City. Also, FYI, I'm Nakis Nakis on Twitter, so for those who have been live tweeting, make sure to continue to do so, and give a shout out to Goodwin Proctor, who's also one of the Pipeline Fellowship sponsors. So, in a nutshell, the Pipeline Fellowship is changing the face of angel investing, and we're creating more capital for women social entrepreneurs. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you what's the problem, what's our solution, how can the Pipeline Fellowship help you, and then I have some tips for you entrepreneurs. So raise your hand if you're a woman entrepreneur. Keep them raised. Raise your hand if you know of a woman entrepreneur, and keep them up. Raise your hand if you know a woman. Awesome. Covered all bases. Great. So right after graduating from Yale, a couple years after graduating from Yale, I attended an 85 Broads event. And what I didn't know back then, and I know now, is that I had the opportunity to lean in. I met a couple of people from Acumen Fund who were saying that they were interested in launching a network of women social entrepreneurs. I had interned at Net Impact, had really gotten into learning about for-profit social venture models. I'm half Italian, half Colombian. I love that idea of the hybrid business model. I'm like, this is what we need to do, doing well, doing good, the heart of the nonprofit, the efficiencies of the for-profit. So when there was this opportunity to launch this network, I leaned in. I said, I'll launch it. January 2008, with 6 women, I grew that network from 6 women to over 1,200 within 2 years. And I kept having the same conversation over and over again. And the gist of that conversation was how a lot of these women entrepreneurs were heading out, were talking about how they wanted to change the world. People were loving it. They were like, let me know where I can sign, let me know where I can donate. And as soon as they heard that it was not a 501c3, they were like, well, come back once you have launched your nonprofit. There was an actual woman entrepreneur who, for several months, was trying to secure funding for her for-profit social venture, could not get anyone to fund her. As soon as she threw in the towel. She's like, I'll become a nonprofit. That's what they want. I'll do it. She went right back to all those high net worth women that she had been talking about. They wrote checks instantly. So it wasn't necessarily that the money wasn't there. It was just that it was much more comfortable to think about supporting a nonprofit than investing in exchange for equity. So that's the problem, and I'll just add some stats because it's fun. According to an Emory study, women-led for-profit social ventures are 40% less likely to secure funding as compared to their male peers, even while they generate 15% more revenue. So I was like, great, opportunity, silver lining, glass half full, not half empty. And so my whole take was, well, let's create an angel investing boot camp where we're engaging these women who have the money, who know how to help change the world by donating, and let's share with them that they can actually invest in for-profit social ventures in exchange for equity. So we started April 2011. Since then, we have graduated over 70 women, and we have launched in New York City, Boston, Bay Area, and we're going to be in DC, Chicago, Boston, New York City this spring. Why? Because, and as you entrepreneurs know, entrepreneurs are everywhere, capital isn't. And so we get tons of emails from women entrepreneurs who are like, yo, there are a lot of high net worth women in our community. You need to come, you need to convert them so they can start funding our businesses. So how can the Pipeline Fellowship help you? So the way that the Pipeline Fellowship works is that we have an educational module. We have a mentoring component where we partner up our angels in training with seasoned angel investors, and some of them are white guys on purpose, because I'm interested in integrating our angels in training into the predominantly white male networks, as you can see around. And the third one is practice. So there's skin in the game involved. Each woman, we generally have about 10 women per cohort, commits to put down a minimum of $5,000, which means that it's a collective of 50K that they're committing to put down in a woman-led for-profit social venture in exchange for equity. Here's the really cool part. several of the companies that have been invested in by Pipeline Fellows have ended up securing over $100,000, and several of them have actually not been the ones selected by the group, however, have ended up securing funding from individual Pipeline Fellows. Pipeline Fellows, as soon as they graduate, they have gone on to invest in third and fourth startups. Some of them are pure tech plays, some of them are led by guys, so there's still a chance for you. And there are several of them that have ended up joining later stage angel networks, in addition to starting their own angel groups, such as Topstone Angels and 37 Angels. So that's how we can help. I do want to leave you with 3 quick tips. The first one is, if you want money, ask for feedback. So generally what I've seen is that entrepreneurs are like, I'm looking for money. Then potential investors, I want to see if you're coachable. So if you actually give an opportunity to the potential investor to see how you work, then that's really great for them. The second tip that I'm going to leave you with, which is Dana Goldstein, who some of you might have gotten a chance to meet her. She's a Pipeline Fellowship investee. She said it and I love it, which is pitching is the start of a conversation. So possibly you might get funding today, not necessarily out of those formalized meetings. It might be from that person you met in the hallway. So keep that in mind. The third and last one is Toya Powell from US Black Chamber Inc. She likes to say this, which is fortune is in the follow up. I cannot tell you how many times I have spoken at conferences, exchanged business cards, seen the other people exchange business cards, and they don't hear back from the entrepreneurs. So, what's the worst that can happen if you don't email those people? They won't respond. Guess what? You're in the same place as if you hadn't emailed them in the first place. Thanks so much, and
Thank you.
that's it.